Good morning, everyone. I am Michelle Merkel from Junior Achievement of Mahoning Valley, and I'd like to thank everyone for participating in our JA Personal Finance program. Today, we will have Jim Long from Middlefield Banking Company. Jim is the branch manager for the Orwell Bank in Ashtabula County. And today he is going to be presenting to you on smart shopping and how, as a consumer, you need to know about when you go out there and shop and get the best prices. So at this time, I'd like to welcome Jim Long.
Well, thank you, Michelle. And good morning, everyone. As Michelle said, my name is Jim Long, and I am very excited to be with you all today. And personally, I've had the pleasure of volunteering with Junior Achievement over the years in different capacities. I've done some volunteering. I've also served on the boards. The most fun I've had so far has been with fundraising in the Junior Achievement Bowl-a-thons. It's been a nice time to help out and have fun with other participants, but mostly I just laugh at myself because I'm not a very good bowler and I'm pretty sure gutter balls aren't a good thing, but I try my best. Um, this is very exciting, and I'm glad to be here to be able to help Junior Achievement, because Junior Achievement is very dedicated to preparing you all today for a bright future. As Michelle had said, I do work for the Middlefield Banking Company as a branch manager. I know a lot of you will probably relate a bank to tellers, but there are many other positions within the four walls of the bank, all that support your financial well-being. There are those that can help you save for college, new accounts people that open savings accounts, they open checking accounts to help you manage your money. Um, Along with savings, they can help you save for large purchases, whether it be a car, can help you save for a home. There's those that are loan officers that can help you buy your first home, um, finance a car, anything that you might need to borrow money for. Those that help you establish credit, those that help you invest your money, save for retirement, and those are just a few things. In my position, in the bank, uh, I can do a little bit of all those things to help my customers and assist with their financial needs. I myself started as a part-time teller way back in the early 1990s. Yes, I know I'm old. Um, and I was able to work my way up to where I am now. It may be odd to hear, but bankers are sometimes referred to as financial physicians. Just as medical physicians ask questions to diagnose a medical ailment and recommend a proper remedy, we too ask questions to provide you with the proper financial solutions to help you meet your financial goals and to be financially fit, so to speak. One of those solutions is to be a smart shopper. So if you think back to your previous programs, can you remember what personal finance is? If you said that personal finance is the practice of determining and managing a person's financial needs and goals for the future, you are correct. Personal finances are dependent upon earnings and savings and will be the basis of how you get what you want and what you need. So what's the connection between personal finance and personal fitness? Some of the things that you might think is you have to work at both of them. They have to become lifetime habits, and they both require long-term commitments. And if you look at the screen that I'm presenting now, all these things are intertwined when you talk about personal finance. First, you talk about your earnings and your job, the money that you make, and then how you budget yourself. Are you saving that money? How are you managing your credit and your debt? Are you protecting your money? Are you investing your money for the future? Are you protecting yourself from risk? And then we're going to talk more about smart shopping. When people are training to develop physical fitness, they need to make decisions about how they spend their resources. They need to know which exercise routines are effective and which ones are just a waste of time. These kinds of decisions are important for financial fitness too. You need to make smart decisions about what you spend money on to get the results you want. When you work hard to earn your salary or wages, you want every single dollar to go as far as it possibly can. In this session, you will learn how to be a smart shopper. You will learn how to be able to buy items you want and items you need while keeping more of your money. Think about your most recent shopping trip or online purchase. When you make a decision to buy something, what factors do you consider? Do you think about quality? Do you think about price? How about choosing items that are on sale? How about reviews that you've read online? How about whether that item is available to you or whether it's on back order? What I'd like for you to do now is imagine two people. We'll call one John and the other Susie. So John and Susie, they both make the same amount of money monthly, and they both want to buy a television. So John, he goes out to the very first store that's closest to his home and he buys a television, the first television he sees. Susie checks multiple stores and multiple websites to find the best price. And she also finds a coupon in the newspaper for 15% off and uses it to save a little bit more. Which person made the smarter choice? If you said Susie, you're right. She actually took the time to make decisions to save a little bit more and made her money stretch a little bit further. Every time you shop, you are comparing many different factors and personal priorities to help you make a decision. How people shop affects their finances because smart decisions can help people spend less of their income and save more of their money. I myself recently purchased a television. I was so excited to buy a TV. I got a tax return and thought I would treat myself to something special. I did comparatively shop. I did smart shop. I did go online to compare prices, whether it was cheaper to have it shipped online through Amazon. I did go to different stores. I did have to consider whether or not I was able to take the TV with me, or whether I had to have it delivered and installed. So I had to weigh all those decisions. Ultimately, I decided it was best for me to have it delivered and installed. And it did pay for itself because I wasn't going to be able to take it home myself and have it carried up the stairs and installed myself. So that was a decision I made for myself. Now I'd like you to think about the last time you had to buy a pair of jeans. If you were choosing a pair of jeans to buy, what would you look for? I think you would look for a pair of jeans that fit well, maybe a brand name jean, a price that you could afford, high quality, a style that you like. The same principles apply when you shop for jeans, can be helpful for any kind of shopping. Have any of you heard the term comparison shopping? I kind of mentioned it a second ago. Do you think you know what it means? The definition of comparison shopping is the practice of comparing price, quality, and quantity options before buying a product or a service. Smart shoppers look at multiple sources and compare the price, quality, and other priorities. Comparison shopping varies based on the priorities of the consumer. For example, when buying paper towels, some people prefer a high-quality product because it is softer or stronger, even if the price is more expensive. Others just want the lowest price. For me, as an example, when I go to buy dress shoes, I often will buy a more expensive dress shoe. I wear dress shoes every day to work, and I pay a little bit more for a high quality shoe that I believe will last longer. And in doing so, I feel that over a course of time, I'm spending less money because of the higher quality shoe. It's going to last me longer, and in doing so, I'm spending less money. If I buy a lower quality shoe, I run the risk of buying more shoes over the same period of time and thus spending more money for shoes. So I don't have any qualms about purchasing a more expensive shoe that I know is going to last longer. And that's an example of comparison shopping. Let's take a look at the screen now, and let's look at these two labels. Look at the total price on each label. Which total price is lower? Is it the snappy rice at $3.12, or is it the crispy rice at $2.40? If you said crispy rice at $2.40, you're correct. But now let's look at the unit price. Which one is lower here? So if we look at crispy rice, we can see that the price per ounce is 20 cents, where the snappy rice is 13 cents per ounce. So in this comparison, actually snappy rice is cheaper at 13 cents per ounce. The unit price will show us the price per a standard amount. In this case, it's showing us the price per ounce. When comparison shopping, the unit price is useful for comparing packages that may contain different amounts of a product. Buying large amounts of a product can often result in savings because the unit price is lower. An example of buying in bulk obviously would be like a Costco or a Sam's Club. That would be bulk buying. And that is a strategy called buying in bulk. But when buying in bulk, it's a good strategy as long as you can use the entire amount that you buy. If you buy large quantities of food, for example, you have to be able to use that food before it spoils. Now, unfortunately, in essence of time, we won't be able to do the shop till you drop activity. But I do want you to keep this example in mind. Say, for instance, I give each one of you $50 to use to pay for dinner for an entire week. You can either use that $50 to purchase takeout using DoorDash or Grubhub or Uber Eats, or you can take that same $50, go to the grocery store, and purchase the necessary food items to prepare your own meals. How long do you think that $50 is going to last you? How many meals do you think you'll get from that $50 spending on DoorDash and Grubhub? Then how many meals do you think you can get out of that $50 if you use it at the grocery store? Those are things to keep in mind when you want that money to last you as long as it possibly can, eating out versus eating in. So I challenge you to think about that the next time that you have money and it's a question of where you're going to spend it to eat. I'm just going to skip through a few slides here. I did want to take a few moments to talk about this quick activity called Do We Have a Deal? So if you look at the screen, we're going to recall what we learned about unit pricing and which is the better deal. So we have 2 tubes of toothpaste. We have on the left a tube of toothpaste that is 6.2 ounces, and it cost us 48 cents per ounce for a total cost of $3. And on the right, we have a 3.5 ounce package of toothpaste that costs us 86 cents per ounce, also $3. So if we look at the total price, we cannot determine which is the better deal because they both cost the same. So we have to take our knowledge of what we learned and the unit price, the price per unit of 48 cents per ounce for the package on the left is cheaper than the 86 cents per ounce of the package on the right. So if we think that the one on the left is cheaper, let's see what we find. Even though the total price for both tubes is the same, the unit price is cheaper for the larger tube. So we got more for our money, the $3. This will last longer. It's cheaper because of that unit price. So we did better by buying this tube than if we were to buy that tube. Next example. Which is the better deal when eating out at a restaurant? So this might seem like a no-brainer. Soda drink, which in this part of the state and country we call pop, or tap water. So which one do we think? Obviously, in most places we don't have to pay for tap water or we have to pay for soda, but look at this fact about soda. Soda in restaurants is marked up as much as 1,150% and even more at places such as movie theaters and sporting events. Water is your best financial choice and it's healthier too. Water is good for you. It's good for the body. It's also good for your pocketbook. And lastly, which is the better deal? So on the left, we have a head of lettuce. It's 10 ounces. It's $1.50. On the right, we have a bag of lettuce, 8 ounces at $2.79. So which one do we think is the better deal? So we could look at pricing. We can do math and look at the price per ounce. This one doesn't seem as hard to figure out. So if we say the head of lettuce, buying a whole head of lettuce, washing and tearing it up at home takes a few minutes longer than opening up a bag of pre-washed greens, but if you're willing to spend the time, it can be much cheaper. And this is another case in point when we talked about eating out versus eating in. If you're willing to take the time to make your meals versus spending the money out, it's going to be cheaper in the long run. And I think you realize that. So let's do a quick review. First, smart shoppers save money because they get more for their money. So again, whether it be an allowance or money that you earn in the workforce, it's going to be very important to you. You're going to see things like taxes taken out, Social Security, when you get in the workforce. And what you have left over is going to be very important when you want to save and when you need to buy things. So, how you shop is very important. Save that money so you can get more for your money. Smart shopping can help you save more of the money you've earned. Again, comparison shopping. There's two items. One item is at Walmart for $500. It's a TV. We'll go back to a TV. Best Buy has the same TV for $700. Just don't go to Best Buy and buy that TV right away. Do some comparison shopping. Find out if the TV is out there cheaper. If you find out that that TV at Walmart's $500, you've just saved $200. That's a big difference. And consumers should research and compare and contrast data when making a purchase. There's a lot to that information, and we had talked about going online. Um, you might want to, if you're not 100% sure about a particular product that you're looking to buy, there's ways to find out with reviews and rankings what people think about a certain product. On top of the pricing, where you're getting it from, the brand name. So there's a lot of things that you should look into before you make a purchase, above and beyond whether or not it's going to save you money. So that in a nutshell is what I was happy to bring to you today. And Michelle is back with us, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Well, great presentations, Jim, on consumer shopping, smart buying. I know to start those skills is very important, to look at price comparisons. I have two teenagers myself. When we go to the grocery store, they like to just plop things into the cart. And I'm like, did you compare prices? No.
Often no.
The answer is no. So, I always send them back and I'm like, is that the cheapest price? So, but I do think when mom's buying, that takes place. But when they're spending their own money, I do see that they do compare shop, so they can save. And I like the suggestions of using the Groupons and the coupons that come in the mail, to save on cost. Any way you can save money is a good way. So I do have a question, more about your job.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So why did you choose a career in banking?
To be perfectly honest, when I was only 20 when I first started. My aunt was a banker, and it's a funny story real quick. I went to apply at her bank and there was a freeze on hiring. So I just went next door to the next bank, and got hired there. But it just became something that I'd like to do. I talked to a lot of people as the years went on. I looked at this job as a way to help people. Um, they come to us looking for answers. I like to be able to provide them with solutions. I can use an example of somebody who was just had so much credit card debt that they couldn't afford to buy groceries, and that's just not right. So they did have the means to be able to consolidate those bills into one payment, doing a home equity line of credit, if you know what that is, and actually had more money in their pocket to be able to take care of their family. So those are like feel good stories that make me feel good that I'm doing something good for them. So long story short, that's why I do what I do.
Another question is, which you kind of talked about, but what skills are required for your job as a branch manager?
As a branch manager, well, for me, working up through the ranks, Anymore, if you have a passion to be a people person and you like to talk to people, what I often say in my position is you don't necessarily have to have banking experience. If you have the passion to talk to people, we can train you to do the job, to be able to open accounts or to be able to run a teller drawer. If you want to help people, we'll train you to do the skills. We hire for talent and we train for skills. Um, you don't you don't need to have a college degree. Some do, some don't. Um, but there's not really, there's some that have finance degrees. There's some that have education degrees. There's some, like I said, that don't have any degrees at all. It's just the passion that you have to help people.
So a lot of on-the-job training, but again, having the skill set of being able to communicate, enjoy working with people, and
Uh,
others is kind of a very important skill to have.
yeah,
You
a lot of
don't,
customer service. A lot of
yes,
customer service.
and you want your customers to be happy. Well, that kind of goes into what is the biggest challenge in your job as a branch manager?
Um, well, the pandemic has been a big challenge. We've been separated from our customers for a little bit. We are open. Middlefield Bank has done the necessary things to protect our employees and our customers, um, but it's ever changing. Uh, People are really been hit hard with unemployment. Um, there's a lot of customers that aren't working, so it's been tough for them to be able to, make payments on their loans. Just seeing the hard times has been really challenging. But again, we're here as people first, and then if we're able to provide the solutions. But that's been a real challenge over the last 18 months.
I know with the pandemic, a lot of people had to adapt and evolve in different ways of doing things. Are there some things that you have to do differently also as far as communicating to your customers or having access to them or them having access to you?
For a little while there, the lobbies were closed, so we had to kind of reinvent ourselves as to how we can service our customers as far as taking loan applications or opening new accounts. And we got creative. We would go outside if we had to. We would have them sign through the drive up, if they were open to that. If we had to stay late when there was nobody else in the building, or if we had to come in early, again when there was nobody in the building, whatever we had to do to be accommodating. This was, you know, unprecedented. So we had to adapt. We had to think on our feet. Now, thankfully, like I said, we have put the proper protocols in place where we can function. There still are some people that are apprehensive, and we'll still do what we need to do to adapt to what the customer wants. Um, but we're able to do that.
Very good. Those were our three questions that we got from today's audience. And like you said, consumer shopping fits in the whole structure of, having personal finance, and the knowledge and the skill sets to manage your money. And who doesn't want to be able to save, here or there so that they can use it for other things like vacations or, nights out with the family or getaways.
Yeah, and one last thing I would say too is, you know, to put my banking hat back on is there's a lot of banks out there and you can get a checking account anywhere. But another way you comparatively shop is, what kind of service do you get from the bank that you're shopping? Checking accounts work the same, but you know, like our institution, we pride ourselves on the customer service that we deliver. So that is a determining factor when you go to shop for a checking account.
Very strong point. I appreciate that. Yes, you want to make sure that who you choose to go with also provides customer service and is going to be there to handle difficult situations and guide you through challenging times. But at this time, this concludes our session, and I appreciate your time today, Jim, and sharing this important topic with our young people. And as we mentioned before, these are being recorded and they will be uploaded later on our J Inspire site to be accessed 24/7. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
You too.